Welcome everyone to the Marcum Golf Shoppe. Our inaugural video, I wanted to do a little bit of demonstration on how to re-grip a club. I've got a few wedges here. They're just my own wedges. I like to make sure I keep the grips nice and new. Have a tendency to wear down on me a little bit, so you got the 60 degree. What I'm going to do is take off the old grip. Now, if you want to salvage a grip, which will be another video for another time, there is a process for doing that. But since we're just going to throw these away, I'm just going to go ahead and cut these off. Got myself a nice little curved blade box knife. Make sure you always cut away from yourself. Now, since this is a steel shaft, it's not as difficult. If this were a graphite shaft, you'd want to make sure that you keep this blade at an angle so that you don't dig in to the shaft. But with the steel shaft, just get that blade underneath the grip, and again, just make sure you cut away from you all the way down the length of the grip. I've seen some guys do a couple different cuts and then tear it off. I'm a one cut guy, and then I just get in there, rip that old grip off. Should be able to just pop off. Now, what we want to make sure we do, if there's any old two-sided tape that's left on the shaft, as you can see here, I've got quite a bit. We want to make sure we get all of this off, clean up the shaft real nice before we install the new grip. Okay, now we got all the old tape off. I always like to make sure that I take a little bit of solvent, take a rag, and just make sure I clean up any last remnants off the end here. I'd like a clean surface so that the new tape for the new grip I put on has a good surface to cling to. Okay, once we get that cleaned up, go ahead and I mount my wedge into the vise. I don't have a really neat, cool little gripping station with the quick clamp or anything like that, or one of those gripping stations where it's got the solvent catcher. So what I do instead is I just have my little 4-inch vise here mounted on the table, put it in the rubber clamp, make sure that my golf club is nice and square at the end so that when I install the grip, I can keep that grip nice and square to the face. But to catch the solvent, I just take a little table, and I have found that paint tray liners work really well. So I just put down my paint tray liner underneath where that solvent's going to be dripping down to catch any of that. So I'm usually a Golf Pride guy. I had the Tour Velvet White, the 360. On the old wedge here, but when I was at the store, I kind of got my eye caught here. I've never been a big Super Stroke guy, but Super Stroke actually bought out and acquired Lambkin, and I've used Lambkin over the years, always have produced good grips, so I thought, why not give it a try here. So I've got the Crossline 2.0 standard black. As you can see, it's got the Super Stroke logo on it, but here on the end cap, it has the little ode to the Lambkin, the 100 years that Lambkin family business were in business. So I kind of like that. Now, I'm a logo down kind of guy, so that when I install this, I will put that logo upside down so that when I'm at a dress, I like to not see any writing or anything there. So let's go ahead and do the install. Always like to just measure out about how far that grip's going to be so that I know how far to put the tape down onto the shaft. Just put a little mark there. Put my two-sided tape on. Now, I'm just a one-layer tape guy, but per request, If there needs to be build up on the club, if somebody likes their grip just a little bit over standard and they don't want to actually do the mid-size grip, we can do any of that. Just whatever specifics are given to me. But I'm a standard grip guy with one grip layer. So go ahead and peel that off. Again, I don't have the cool little spool and dispenser that takes this off. So I just kind of have the economical home shop here in the basement. Okay, go ahead and get that grip on. Some guys at the end here, they fold it down. I'm just a twist kind of guy. Push that bit down there at the end of the butt of the shaft. Okay, so we've got our tape ready to go. I always like to take the little label off that you get at the store. If you give it a little punch at the end there, it should break that plastic. That way it peels off easy. Okay, so we take our solvent, put a liberal amount there in the grip end. And what we want to make sure we do is we get that entire grip on the inside coated, because this solvent's going to help this grip slip over top of that two-sided tape. And then once that solvent evaporates off, then that tape's going to activate and it's going to hold that grip in place. So we make sure we have plenty of that, and we'll put just a little bit more in here. And then any excess that we have, I just put it right out the bottom hole there. Make sure we coat that tape. And again, I don't like the writing up, so I'm going to put that writing down. Pop that right over there. And then as a math teacher, I'm a stickler for precision, so we get down here and I make sure that we're good to go. Looks pretty good. Go ahead and take the club out. Give it a good view down the line, make sure we're good. Once I'm happy with the orientation of the grip, I always like to give it a couple little taps just to seat that club in there in the grip. Clean up any excess solvent that's come out of that grip there. And there you have it. New grip install. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for any future videos. If there's anything that you would specifically like to see, just drop a comment below. And thanks for watching.